Squash and stretch. The most important rule of this is that the volume of the object should remain constant, even if it is in a rested position, squashed, or stretched. If this rule is not followed, then the object appears to shrink when squashed, and to grow when stretched.
Would you like to know more?
Anticipation. A common action occurs in three parts. 1. The preparation for the action. This is the definition of anticipation. 2. The action itself. 3. Determination of the action. A properly timed anticipation can enable the viewer to better understand a rapid action, e.g., preparing to run and then dashing off the screen.
Would you like to know more?
Staging is the presentation of an idea so that it is clear. This idea can be an action, a personality, an expression, or a mood. The key idea is that this is made clear to the viewer.
Would you like to know more?
Straight ahead action in hand-drawn animation is where the animator starts at the first drawing in a scene and then draws all of the subsequent frames until he reaches the end of the scene. Pose-to-pose action is when the animator carefully plans out the animation, draws a sequence of poses, for example the initial pose, some in between, and the final poses, then draws all of the in-between frames.
Would you like to know more?
Follow-through is the termination part of an action. Overlapping means to start a second action before the first action is completely finished.
Would you like to know more?
Slow in and out refers to the spacing of the in-between frames at maximum positions. It is the second and third order continuity of motion of the object. Rather than having a uniform velocity for an object, it is more appealing and sometimes more realistic to have the velocity vary at the extremes. All actions, with few exceptions, such as the animation of a mechanical device, follow an arc or slightly circular path.
Would you like to know more?
Secondary action. This is an action that directly results from another action. It can be used to increase the complexity and interest of a scene.
Would you like to know more?
Timing and motion. The speed of an action gives meaning to movement, both physical and emotional meaning. The animator must spend the appropriate amount of time on anticipation of an action, on the action, and to the reaction to the action. If too much time is spent, then the viewer may lose attention. If too little, then the viewer may not notice or understand the action.
Would you like to know more?
Exaggeration does not mean just distorting the actions or objects, but the animator must carefully choose which properties of the object or character to exaggerate. If only one thing is exaggerated, then it may stand out too much. If everything is exaggerated, then the entire scene may appear too unrealistic.
Would you like to know more?
The principle of solid drawing means taking into account forms in three-dimensional space, giving them volume and weight.
Would you like to know more?
Appeal in a cartoon character corresponds to what could be called charisma in an actor. A character whom is appealing is not necessarily sympathetic. Villains or monsters can also be appealing. The most important thing is that the viewer feels the character is real and interesting.
Would you like to know more?